Yeah.
You've done it.
Yeah.
I think you have to shut your iPad off, though, now.
This is teamwork. It's so hard to remember.
It's still playing. You just can't hear it because you've turned it down. Right?
I'm glad you're telling me what I'm doing. It really helps me to know what I'm doing.
Whoops, I pulled this cord and like everything in the whole table came this way.
You know, somebody did a little fancy rewiring.
That's fancy? I just see like your tangle of...
No, but your headphone cable, when I came in here, it went behind here, and it went behind here, and then it snaked back around and came in.
Oh, that's why when I pulled on it, everything came forward.
Exactly.
Oh, dear.
So it's cool. It's just creativity.
I don't think anybody else leans way back in their chair the way I do. I better come closer.
I think it's important to be creative when you can. I mean, if you only get one opportunity a day, you should just steal it and go for the gusto.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
Christina looks so cute today. You guys should see her. She's wearing like a little trucker hat, and she's so hip, and she doesn't even know it.
Well, it always happens by accident because I couldn't find my Red Sox baseball cap that I was using last year for gardening.
I probably could scare you up one. We have a lot of those.
Well, I don't need it now. I have my, Citizen Cider?
Yep.
Trucker's cap.
Yep.
So I'm sporting that. So it's feeling good. And it's actually not as tight. I didn't think I could really go for the trucker's cap look. But now that I'm inside it, I'm owning it. I'm owning it.
You're going to garden today in this?
No, not today, but I started wearing it even on my off days.
Used to it, I see.
Well, not just to get used to it. It's so that when I'm home alone, I can feel cool.
Oh.
It just helps my self-esteem.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think I would recommend it for everybody. If you have like one cool thing that you know for sure is cool, you can wear it when nobody's watching, and it will also work to make you feel cool.
Are we really quiet today, or am I...
I can
headphones?
I can turn you up.
I could have just like stuffed up ears.
Is that better?
Oh, yeah. That's so much better.
Yeah, that's just a knob thing. All you have to do is turn the knob. If life was like that, wouldn't it be cool? We could just turn the knob up and life would
turn like you're happy up a little bit.
Yeah,
on the days that you need to.
Even the vitality meter, if you could just turn it up, like saturation. When you're a painter, you're choosing colors that are more saturated and
Photoshop. Just crank the contrast up a little.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be fake; it would be real.
Yeah.
So Photoshop, I feel is kind of fakey. I like it. I mean, it makes it for some pretty stuff. But
I don't know. Sometimes I feel Photoshop is more real because when I take a picture, and it never, to me, looks really the way it looked. Like, because I feel like you have to boost the saturation and boost the contrast and do everything just to suck people a little more in because they can't get the smells and the sounds and and all that other stuff from just looking at something. So I feel like you've got to intensify what you're looking at so you can kind of convey that there was more.
I think that's cool. That's actually what I do in the recording studio as well, because basically you record something and you're already imposing limitations on it by using microphones.
Right. So then you over-exaggerate what's already there.
Yeah, you have to go in and kind of make it sound real. At least you're trying to make it sound real, but sometimes it comes out sounding bigger and larger than life, which isn't bad either, but it's a choice that we make. So, yeah.
Funny little mouse smell is making me... This morning, it's not like mouse poop, I was saying to Christina. Like, you know that smell. Like when you go into an old barn and it's got like that.
Yeah, but did you mention where you're smelling it?
No, on my clothes, because so at night, so the cats do not, we have 2 cats and we're not super cat people, so they don't have, at night, we don't let them like gallop all over our heads and stuff. I can't sleep if the cats are running around the house, like knocking things over. So at night, they have cozy little beds and we just shut the door to the laundry room, and they have the laundry room, and then there's a whole nother back storage room. So they have these 2 big rooms that they stay in at night so that everyone else can rest in peace.
So they can't hunt.
But they do hunt back there. So the laundry room and the storage room is connected to like our root cellar thing. So they have all kinds of fun places.
Oh, they can hunt over there.
And they do catch mice in there. Like that's probably where the majority of the mice in our life live. And it's pretty tight though. Like I can't imagine they could hide a dead mouse anywhere in there. And I wouldn't know. But the fact that sort of dead mouse smell, I got a tiny faint whiff of it in the laundry room this morning. And I have a really sensitive nose. Smells are like crazy keen
enormous
in my brain. And I can get a little whiff of that mousy smell. Dead mouse smell.
Well, you're just going to have to...
I'm sorry. You just stay over
take
there.
Take measures.
You and your trucker hat. Just keep about
it's okay.
At least 4 feet from me.
I chewed gum on the way down here, so I'm good. Good to go.
Okay.
I've just been recently peppermintized.
Great.
Yeah.
We, A, didn't introduce our show. B, didn't introduce ourselves. C, didn't thank our sponsors.
I just want you to know that I listened to a podcast the other day, like a really...
Of us?
No, It was a high profile, one of the podcasts that's currently, popular. And they just started in just like we did. They didn't introduce the show. They just started talking.
We were cool before cool was cool.
Right, and they didn't have theme music or anything. They just started talking. So we're okay. We're okay.
We're ahead of the game, maybe?
Yeah, we're just not into any sort of flim-flammery.
Right. Well, that flammer.
But you can't introduce the show.
Over there is Christina Stikos, and I'm Emily Howe, and you good people are listening to 11th Hour Radio. We come to you live every Friday morning. Well, we didn't come to them live for the last month of Friday mornings, really. I'm lying. Because we were both kind of like, well, you were here a bunch, but I was gone for a long time.
We had a very sad listener, evidently, in Australia.
Oh, I saw. Somebody sent us fan mail.
Yeah, I just want to apologize personally for being gone so long.
Me too.
Because if we could do the show while we were gone, we would have.
Yeah.
But we're just not that tech savvy.
No.
So.
But anyway.
We're back.
Here on Royalton Community Radio.
Yeah.
WFERLP. Thanks.
Brought to you by our beautiful sponsors who are just shooting for the moon.
To sponsor the Dark Horse Slacker DJs.
The cow people over at Howvale.
That's Howvale Farms. I can remember that one easily because it's my name.
Yeah.
I mean, they aren't me.
Your distant relatives.
Yeah.
Yes. And the Grease Collective. I somehow just love that. I just want to embrace the Grease Collective.
It feels like my hair if I go for a week without washing it, though, too. I wonder if they would...
Yeah, but that's good for your hair.
It doesn't feel good.
You're collecting grease just like the Grease Collective.
Well, it may be good for my hair, but I don't think it's good for my skin. If I go a long time, many days without washing my hair, then I get all broken out everywhere, all around where my hair touches.
Well, that's a cheese issue, and we know it.
I don't think I break out because of the cheese.
Look, I don't want you to stop eating cheese. Nobody wants you to stop eating cheese, and least of all me, really. So
if I stopped eating cheese, who would you eat cheese with?
Exactly. I just, I eat cheese alone a lot, but I would prefer to eat cheese with you because it just heightens the whole experience.
It's because I'm like in absolute ecstasy while I'm eating the cheese. Like, eating cheese has never gotten old for me. The novelty has not worn off since birth.
And you are honestly...
What else can you say that about?
You're the only person that eats mac and cheese with cheese on top.
No.
Yes,
Christina,
you do.
mac and cheese always has cheese on top. Like, it's cheese...
With cheese.
Everywhere. Oh, you mean like... What do you mean?
Well, just spiritually, the whole thing is saturated with like 5 to 10 layers of cheese. Yeah. Even if it's virtual cheese, it's unbelievable. I mean, you can't imagine it. You just have to eat it. You have to be there.
How can I make a living by eating cheese?
I'm going to think about that because I would
be like a cheese taster. But see, I don't like all kinds of cheese, so I wouldn't really want to be. And I don't want to taste bad cheese.
And you don't want to wreck it. You don't want to be like a recording engineer who listens to music all the time and then can't listen to music, right?
Right.
Because my kids all say that I hate music.
Or a dance teacher who's so sick of dancing that she could just like...
That's right. Yeah. Which
strangle a pair of tap shoes.
Yeah, I was actually complaining this week to Nana, my visitor from Denmark, that I didn't really cook good meals for myself anymore. Did I talk about this last week?
She cooked you a meal, I thought.
Yeah. But I made this realization because she was cooking and she was reintroducing into my kitchen a wonderful feeling of well-being by cooking a good meal. And I came to this sudden epiphany that when I stopped drinking, I stopped cooking for myself, and I just became less enthusiastic about it. And here's the thing, and this is like a true confession, okay? But I think other people could relate to it, that my whole cooking dinner ritual was very much contingent on pouring that glass of red wine. Mm-hmm. That was where it was a ritual, and we get so ingrained in habits. And so now I'm like having this protest like a petulant child that's saying, you're not going to...
Fine, if I can't drink, I'm not going to do the cooking either.
Exactly. Let's just have cold cereal for dinner.
But you know what? I kind of like cold cereal for dinner. It feels very taboo and delightful.
Yeah, that's coming from the different angle of like, I don't have to cook dinner. I could just have cereal.
Right.
And there's so many good cereals these days that I think it's not a bad choice, actually. But, you just shouldn't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Right.
Because I'm not trying to recommend like stopping cooking, but I think sometimes when you change your routine, some things they all want to go.
Well, I didn't cook for like 6 months or however long my stove has been broken. Well, it's not been entirely broken. I only had one burner, and you can't cook anything with just one burner.
Okay, but that's a whole other issue of kitchen modernization, as Keith said. Yes. Or Tina. I'm not sure who said that, but there was a comment that came and disappeared about, just so happy for you that you were finally modernizing your kitchen.
It was, well, it's still not all the way there. They have to come back, I think, next week to do the oven. But only one functioning burner on my stove. The rest, since our stove and kitchen sink are connected in one big solid stainless piece, when all the burners shorted out, whenever you turned on the kitchen faucet, water danger, it was like electrocution happened.
Oh my God. I don't believe it. I am so happy now.
They were all unattached except for this one last burner. And, we still always touched the faucet with trepidation because we knew that at some point that one was going to start electrocuting us too. But every morning I'd go to start cooking the kids hot cereal or something, and John would have already a pan of bacon or something on. And so you'd have to wait for that person, and meanwhile we're getting later and later, and I'm like, what do I do now? I can't send them up to brush their teeth because they're not going to brush their teeth before they eat, and it just made life really, really stressful. And then this week, the guys came, and they took a saw, like a metal saw, and they sawed out the whole stainless thing, and they slipped a matching new stainless thing down in it, which we didn't think could actually be done.
I saw the photo with two guys.
I took that off because I figured it was a little. I
love that.
And my sister Myra, was
that
like,
picture.
That's not appropriate.
What do you mean?
So I took it off.
I love that
she
picture.
said that I didn't probably have permission from those guys. Oh, which I don't think they cared. They were cool guys. They were funny. And they got into all kinds of contortionist
Wait a minute. It was just
positions.
one guy on his back with his head under the sink, and the other guy was like over the top, installing something from the top.
Right. But it looked sexual.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did. That's why I posted it. It was funny. Yes, it did.
I didn't. I totally didn't go there. I thought, here's.
Oh, well, you're purer than I am.
I just felt like here's two working guys doing their job.
Well, good, because that is what they were doing. But I was laughing because I was laughing at them loudly while they were there because they did have to like twist around each other in all kinds of funny ways.
Like a game of Twister.
Yes, to get this thing installed. And I thought it was amusing. And it made my day to just watch them do this. And so I can't wait to see what they do when they come back to
oh my God,
get me a new oven.
I just love those guys so much.
I do too.
What are their first names?
I don't know now. I've forgotten, but they're Tetro Appliance. I think they're out of Barry or Montpelier.
Do you know Gordy, who brings the little houses?
I don't know Gordy, who brings the little houses, because I don't have any little houses that have been brought to me by Gordy.
That's what he calls me. I got a knock on the door this morning at about 8 o'clock, and it was Gordy, and he said, well, I got these little houses for you.
Oh, that's right. Okay, Christina's hosting a wedding at her house this weekend, so she's getting a taste of what we do every weekend in the summer.
Yeah.
So someone, I assume, brought little houses for this wedding. Is that what you're referring to?
They're outhouses. They're porta potties.
Yes.
He calls them little houses.
That's nice. We call them portalettes, just because that sounds a little fancier.
Yeah, calling something a potty just is undignified for
I know.
sure.
Like
That's
when we
what
write our
call
contract for our wedding customers, John was like, we can't say that we provide porta potties. That's just obnoxious.
You just don't want to say potty.
So he said, portalettes provided.
Portalette. That's like, why don't you go farther and say portalay?
I don't know.
Let's start a new trend.
What
Let's
does
call
let
it portalay.
mean? What do you, if you add let on the end of something?
They let you in. It lets you in when you're in need.
Like, is it even a word?
Portalay. Just try
Portala. Portala, ha, 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 ha.
Summer in Vermont.
What does portalette mean? Can you add let to like any word and turn it into...
Well, what's good? Think of another example where there's an olet on the end. Robert Goulet.
No, like an object, not a name.
Oh, sorry. I was pre-associating for a second. I'll rein that in.
Does it mean just a miniature something? Like if you had an autolet, is it a small car?
No, it's something that serves a purpose for you. That's
a laundrette. That's a word. Like for a little for like a laundromat.
No, but that's E-T-T-E, not let, L-E-T.
Was portalette L-E-T-T-E?
Boy, we should be able to figure this out. We're smart.
You are. You figure it out.
No,
I will sit here and wait quietly while you figure it out.
You have a very deep kind of intelligence that is hidden. It's very subterranean.
You forgot to thank mountain folk. You stopped.
After
we said
Grease
thank
Collective.
We said thank you to Howvale Farms and to Grease Collective, and then we got off on a tangent and we ignored
mountain folk.
We ignored mountain folklets.
This radio show is brought to you by Mountain Folk. Fortolet. Folkolette. Okay, so what? And that reminds me that the strolling of the heifers is happening
right now in the rain?
No, June 3rd.
Oh.
And it's, for people who don't know about this, it's a kind of a parade. Well, it's got a lot of different
cow
aspects.
Parade.
It's an educational event as well, but the cows and the tractors and the bands, the music bands, that makes 3. You have to have 3 of something.
Don't they queen a Miss Heifer or something too?
Perhaps they do.
And she rides on like or Miss Dairy, something. It's something cow.
Yeah, something cow. Well,
and then she rides on like a dairy float.
I do have
udders everywhere.
I do have a little tip for people. Please, if you're going to go to the strolling of the heifers, do not bring your dog, because this is a parade not about dogs. It's not all about your dog. It's about the cows, and the cows sometimes don't like dogs.
I don't know. I think cows mostly like dogs.
No, not at parades. No, not parade cows, because they're already little tents walking on pavement. Would you want to as a cow?
Yeah, well, people should bring their cows out a little more often. Horses don't get as tense walking on pavement because they walk on pavement sometimes.
Well, people make horses do all kinds of stuff. They don't make cows do all kinds of stuff on a regular basis. I mean, not
they
that
milk
kind of,
them. They make them come in and they stick things to their breasts. That seems kind of violating. more violating than making them walk on pavement anyway. Here comes the train.
You're saved by that. You don't have to go any further with the torture of cows, Miss Cheese.
No, it's
Miss
not a torture of
Cheese.
cows. I think cows love to be milked. Hold on a second. I will just stop talking because the train's going by.
Wow. Are you feeling it?
I guess.
What do you mean, yes? You're feeling it. You're the one that stopped the whole show for it. You're feeling it.
Okay.
It's not just me.
Okay. Well, anyway, cows love to be milked. They want that milk out. It hurts. It's like, it gets like too much milk.
Okay.
I just think in the grand scheme of things, attaching a machine to a cow is probably a little more weird than making them walk.
Okay. Well, someday you can make your own cheese then. Cheese
Fine.
how?
Fine.
Okay, so what I wanted to say also about the strolling of the heifers this year is that they're having speed dating for entrepreneurs.
During the strolling?
Not probably during the strolling because everybody should be out watching the strolling. But
is this the farmer, like there's that dating site that's only for farmers?
Well, there is that. But this is a really special time when you could be down there, consorting with the show cows.
Are you going to go to this?
No, I'm not. But Anna was in it. Anna was in it when she went to the Putney
Speed
School.
dating or
they
or
took
the
their
strolling?
cows down there. She went to the strolling of the heifers, and
Oh.
they took their cows.
Did she get to be Miss?
No, she
Heifer
did not.
or whatever?
I don't think she wanted to be. I mean, maybe she did. I never asked her.
How insensitive.
You've never had girls. What do you know? You have 2 boys. You don't know what you're
know.
talking about.
My youngest might want to be Miss Heifer. He would be okay, probably being Miss Heifer.
Would he dress up in drag? Let's not
Probably
start
not.
any
Probably
strange
not, I guess.
rumors about he who shall remain unnamed. But let's see. It is time for a song
Already?
off our song chart here. Our device.
Okay.
We have a music device.
What,
Even though we
what
hate,
is it that you
We hate music.
think
but
you're going to play? We do not hate music.
I hate music.
No, you don't.
I'm so sick of it.
Being sick of
Why
it and
would
hating it is
anybody
different.
make music?
You're
Why?
just oversaturated.
Yeah, I don't want to lift my soul in joy.
Screw that.
This is so yesterday. Okay, this is a track of music from Wagtail. But I have this feeling it's not going to be queued up. So I'm going to test.
I wonder what gives you that feeling. Only that it never is.
Stop tormenting me. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get it going. That was Wagtail.
Wagtailette.
That was Susanna Blatchley playing the fiddle with some other characters. So so I just wanted to say that I'm really happy that it's raining today, because we are having a wedding at my place this weekend, and what will happen now is that rain will wash away
Your sins. Just kidding.
My sins? What about your sins?
Okay, go. What will it really wash away?
If they're going to wash away my sins, it's second in line there, sister. Okay, it's going to wash away all the pig manure that my neighbors accumulate right on my property line. So this nice hard rain is going to wash. Thankfully, I'm above, so it washes the pig manure down the hill. And then by tomorrow, the sun will shine and everything will smell fresh and clean like a daisy.
Not like a pig bottom.
Exactly. So I'm pretty pleased with this, the way this all turned out.
That's pretty luck. That's pretty lucky.
Pretty luck. E. Luck E. Okay, are you ready? Am I interrupting you?
No.
Did you have some brilliant thought? Because
God, no.
Okay, I wanted you to rate the following groups of photos that you see on Facebook as to, like, well, first I was going to say rate them like first favorite set, or actually this group is least favorite. So it would be like, what is your least favorite? What is your second least favorite? What is your thirst?
Okay.
Okay, these are categories.
Are you going to give me all the categories before you make me rate them?
Well, no, you could just give me your reaction. I think this would be easier.
Okay.
I'm going to say the category of photos, the type of photos, and then you're going to give me your gut reaction, like really fast, like don't think about it, okay?
Okay.
Food pictures.
Oh, boring.
Beaches.
Sorry. My fast.
No,
my fast is not everyone's fast.
No, it's not.
I don't know. I love beaches, but you've seen one beach, you've seen them all. So actually that's probably more boring than food.
Okay.
Are we talking about like the nice professional recipe food pictures that come up, or people just taking pictures of their food? Because I don't do.
I think
it is boring.
People
to me.
taking pictures of their food.
Like an artistically designed like shoot of
yeah, but wait,
of food stuff.
Go back to the other instance where it's somebody and they're posting their plate, the picture of their plate. What you don't stop and look at it and say, oh, what's that gloppy thing to the right? What
Not
is
really.
Because doesn't it look all kind of gloppy?
It does.
Like
it's all like the same color. I always try to arrange the things in different colors. And
I mean, the question is whether
know.
do you actually take the time to figure out what they're eating?
No, I don't even look at it.
Do you read the caption?
No. I don't.
This is a cautionary tale for those of you who are regularly posting pictures.
I don't care. It
dinner.
doesn't bother me. Like,
okay,
that's what some people like to post. I'm just telling you that I'm not paying any attention to it.
Well, go ahead and do it then, by all means.
Yeah.
Emily's not watching.
I don't.
Doesn't matter. Okay, back to beaches.
But the weird thing is, I love beaches, and I could look at pictures of beaches, but they're not that exciting.
But the important fact is that the people are at the beach.
Right.
Doesn't that factor in
So
at all?
I do look at those a little bit more, I guess.
No, but don't you feel any envy or anything?
Yeah, I do, because I like the beach a lot.
And that doesn't influence how you feel about the picture?
I like the beach, but people post beach pictures so much that I do kind of skim them. Not as much as the plate skimming. But
okay. All right. And I just think that rocky beaches are actually better, because I have a better reaction to seeing a rocky beach, because people can't lie around on it.
No, they're doing something.
Right. They're being productive. They're not just like lying on it.
Although, you know what? Everybody on a rocky beach makes a rock stack, and then they take a picture of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yep.
Those, since I like rocks, those snag my interest a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah,
But
me too.
I'm just saying, not original.
Okay. All right.
It's okay. Do it anyway. I'll do it when I go to the beach. But
okay. What about the I'm happily married photos?
the one where there's, or no. What about that? Are you talking about on the happily married photos, or the like we just got engaged photos where it's like they have their ring finger up and?
Well, that's kind of a related side category.
Okay.
But
we're happily married photos.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it depends on who the person is.
Or we're so much in love photo. I guess that we're so much in love photo.
I feel like the people who do that a lot are desperately trying to validate
like when
their
they say,
relationship.
You are my prince, you are my princess.
Okay, that just makes me barf. inside. It doesn't actually come out my mouth.
What if it's genuine?
It's just down low.
What if it's genuine? You are my princess.
I don't know. I just feel
princess.
like some of that stuff is, if that's how you feel, that's super. And I understand about wanting to shout those kinds of things to the world, but I also think there's something really special about a romantic relationship that like is more special because it's just between the two of you. Like that's sort of what a romantic relationship is, right? It's a relationship that's just between the two of you.
So if I said
so be like,
I am your queen. that you don't.
I would just like laugh. I'm sorry. I want to see the day when you put that somewhere so I can just be what the hell is going on here?
I'm just gonna do a selfie and say I am like.
You know what my favorite is? By favorite, I'm saying that in a very sarcastic way. When people take a selfie, and it has to have some cleavage included, obviously,
right.
And then their caption has nothing to do with anything. They put like a song lyric or like a.
So it's an excuse.
It's weird. It's like just went to Starbucks, blah blah blah, and it's like so. All I see is a picture of you and your cleavage. What?
That's funny. I was watching a video yesterday, which is a very informative video about astrology. And I think the astrologer, she lives in Florida and she wears tank tops because it's hot down there.
I'm fine with wearing tank tops. Yeah. I'm fine with people wearing no top if they want. I don't care.
No, but
just, if you're going to post that picture, be like, look at my cleavage. Just say it. Just say it. Just be like, I want to show you my cleavage right now. Just print that underneath your picture instead of, I went to Starbucks. Like,
okay.
I just want you to say what's really going on. That would be handy.
Point well taken. I understand that.
Okay.
In my situation with my friend in Florida, what I noticed her do after about 5 minutes into the video was she picked up her kitten, and she put it like right in the front of the cleavage.
It's like a kitten carrier. I never had one of those.
No, not into the cleavage.
Oh, it's just drawing the eye to.
No, the opposite. I think she was feeling just maybe a moment
she was covering the cleavage with the kitten?
I think so. Maybe.
Or she just wanted to cuddle the kitten to her bosom.
I don't know. I feel like she couldn't necessarily control how the camera was framing her because she had to use her phone instead of her computer. And so I think maybe she noticed. She was also getting a lot of hate stuff in her comments. It was just, I think it was probably a difficult session for her. She's really a wonderful, like, generous person. And anyway, there were just some things going on that gave me pause. But she did explain about Pluto squaring Venus, which... No, you should be concerned today.
No.
I think it'll clear up tomorrow, but...
Don't tell me about it.
No, it's a good thing.
Is it bad?
No, it's not bad. It's only bad if you make it bad, but we're not going to make it bad. We're going to use it for personal growth.
Now I have a headache. You just made Pluto...
No,
give me a headache.
You cannot escape personal growth yet another week.
I've escaped it for like a full month, actually.
You have, so I think it's time to look at Pluto squaring Venus.
What does that even mean? That sounds like math. I'm not interested in math.
All right, according to Mama Maga.
Is that the kitten?
Mama Maga.
Cleavage person?
Yeah, she's a really good astrologer down in Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to quote her, and I'm not going to pretend this is me talking. She's very eloquent about astrology. So she says that squares are angles in the chart that prove difficult and challenging, like an animal being pushed back into a corner. Okay,
I don't like the sound of that.
No, but when applied, and she goes on to say that when applied with consciousness and deliberate eye-opening curiosity and self-transmutation, oh boy, this can be a game changer, a life turner, and where once a sense of total disempowerment may have plagued the vision, now a total death of the shadow of where we have not loved can be revealed as clearly as a soul tsunami comes crashing down and breaking apart all old constructs that were embedded deep in the psyche of humanity.
I don't get it.
You weren't paying attention. Did
I
you
was.
do this in school?
I was. What?
What kind of a student were you?
I tried to pay attention. I just had my other thoughts that I needed to think when they were talking.
And how is that carried with you into your current day life? Do you find that you're lacking in any of the skills like math or spelling?
Yes, totally lacking in math. Spelling, I was okay at once. You just give me the spelling words that people can't spell. No one can. That's what spell check is for. Yep. And everything else, I don't know. I can't remember things, though, because when people tell me something that I'm supposed to be remembering, I don't remember.
Yeah, but the explanation for that is just that you're parenting small children, and that like shatters your ability.
I can't use that excuse much longer. They're not even small.
No, you didn't let me finish. It only gets worse as they age, and the icing on the cake is when they're teenagers. But what happens is that raising children sort of shatters your ability to focus on one thing. It's like it's a constant interruption. Your whole life becomes a constant interruption.
Well, you'd think that would force me to be really time efficient with the time that I have and make my brain compartmentalize better.
Ultimately, you can recover from it, and that could be a benefit because you've been so shattered and beaten down.
They're almost, the teenager years are coming.
Yeah, so
So what, the worst is still coming?
Well, kind of, yeah.
That's what everyone keeps telling me. I'm terrified by this.
But you wanted children.
What am I gonna do?
You wanted to have them.
I know. I would take more. I would take like 6. No, not 6. That's a lot. I would take like a couple more. I totally would.
Well, look, if you're going to have them, then you're going to have the whole thing. You're going to have the whole...
I know, but like, who decided that like you give birth to these things, which hurts more than anything even imaginable. And then like basically you have to keep them alive through perilous circumstances as tiny things. And then they do crazy stuff like jump off things as they get more mobile and independent and crazy. And then after all this, and you've lost sleep for basically a dozen years straight, and now they're going to hit you with teenagerhood? Like, that's a really bad design flaw. This should be time to relax and enjoy them before they leave. When is that time coming? When do I get to enjoy them before they leave?
I'll tell you what happens is that when they leave and then you're shattered and your life, you just like feel meaningless and your life has no...
Oh, this just gets better.
No, it gets better just before you die.
I don't want it to get better just before I die. I hate things to happen nice.
But dying is like taking a rocket ship to the moon. It's not something... Yeah, it's not something to look away like, oh, bad thing. It's actually going to be pretty cool. No, I'm just saying that on a psychic level, it's actually going to be a pretty cool ride. So I'm just saying, don't worry about it now. Worry about the teenagers.
Oh, God. Do you have anything nice to say today that will make me happy? It's raining.
Let me check my list.
And
I'm sure I do.
And
that stump in Tunbridge. That stump, they cut down the tree in front of the library. I know. That's awful.
John and I were really annoyed. I'm not annoyed that they cut down the tree. I guess they had to cut down the tree. But what they created out of the tree stump is just ridiculous.
I know.
And whatever kind of tree it is, it's a sappy, pitchy kind of tree. Mm-hmm. So they cut this tree down, and into the stump, they had whoever cut it down cut like a couple little seats. Which, maybe could be a good idea, but it's just smack in the middle of a stark library lawn. No one can sit there. And it's going to glue you. Yeah, it's sticky.
I personally do not like stump art.
No.
For the record,
I like it if it's
like
not anymore attached to a tree. Like if you're going to take a log and carve it into a totem pole or something, I'm fine with that. But if it's still like down in the ground, like with roots, that bothers me.
The good news is that there is such a thing as stump removal. So if everybody in the town is kind of like, this is a bit of an eyesore, then it can be removed afterwards. It's like a tooth. Like this is a perfect segue to my dental appointment.
Okay.
Because you wanted something nice, and I'm telling you, my dentist was so nice to me this week as he was drilling into me.
You went to the dentist?
He was drilling into me.
Wait, did you have your funny tooth hole fixed?
I didn't get I still have a missing tooth.
I still can't even see it.
No, it was behind
I can't tell.
No, there was a tooth that was cracked. And so he had to drill into me and put on a temporary crown. And he was so nice. He was like treating me like I was a little baby. who just needed all the love and care that a little baby needs.
Who's your dentist? I think I'm going to go see him.
I know. That's why I went to him so many years ago because Carl Pepperman said, he's the baby's dentist.
I want a baby's dentist. Oh.
I know. It's just so fun.
I have put off going to the dentist for so long.
I know. There's some really nice people
I don't think I have any
there.
Problems in there, so it's not a big deal.
Well, even if you do, you'll enjoy going to see him and chat. And make them laugh, because I like my goal when I go to the dentist, especially when they have my mouth all stuffed full of stuff, is I try to make them laugh.
Why don't they just laugh at people in general? How silly we look when they put all the things in our mouth.
Yeah, they're kind of used to it, I guess.
And they stretch your cheeks way out, like way out here.
Right. I know, you just can't think about that.
And the sucking thing.
Yeah, I know. I know. I had such a funny time with the assistant with that. Because it would start to build up and I couldn't talk. I was about to choke, and so I got...
What a weird profession where you're just like suction saliva all day.
Thank God for those people. I just bow down to them.
What, hygienists?
We should tip them.
I know.
Like we
spit.
We're supposed to be tipping the catering staff, and we tip the portalette man, and we tip the tent. The
you
tent
tipped your portalette man?
I guess you're supposed to.
Oh, crud.
I know, crud.
We've never tipped our portalette man. I didn't know that was part of it.
Maybe if you're in the business of putting weddings on, but if you're a bride and groom and you have these services provided, then sometimes it's a nice idea just to tip these people.
Now I feel like a wicked jerk.
Yeah, you are.
I know. That's why I feel like one.
No, you're not. Come on. You want to hear a song, right?
Yeah.
This is a nice pick-me-up. I think this is Moose. Dance floor.
She's been sitting on that bar stool since 1991. Bet you're glad you ain't that bar stool, and you ain't her chosen one. Mudgy's sitting in the corner, see them sweat stains on the wall. I bet you're glad that you ain't living in his unwashed overall. See the dance floor wait between them, it's the home of sway and swing. It's as empty as a bottle, waiting for its chance to sing. She been drinking tequila sunsets since her days in Desert Storm. You're lucky not to have her memory or the life in which they're born. Well, Mudge, he ain't much for memories, drinks his bourbon from the rail. Ain't much future through his windshield. You're glad that you don't read his mail. See the dance floor wait between them, it's the home of sway and swing. It's as empty as a bottle, waiting for its chance to sing. whiskey turned to courage. His old work boots hit the floor. He drank too much to be discouraged. He paid the jukebox by the door. She turned and found a smile inside her. Tequila sizzled in her veins. In his eyes she saw a question. In her eyes he saw the same. See the dance floor in its glory. The living home, a swaying swing. Thought that you should know the story. How the dance floor came to sing. Thought you might like to hear the story. How the dance floor came to sing.
That was epic.
Yeah.
That was great. That was Doug Anderson, also known as Moose. Great songwriter. Not from around here. So, all right, yeah, so I just wanted to mention that Will's store is the last store left standing in Chelsea.
It's the last store left standing in many towns, really. We've got nothing in Tunbridge either, so.
That's right. But
I love Will's store.
I know.
Love it.
That's the good thing is that I've been going there more, and I've been getting my half and half there, and I've been getting my cheese blocks. And the last time I was in there, I bumped into Frank Keene, my ex-car mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I bumped into him, and if you've ever had a great car mechanic, you can relate to the fact that after they retire, when you see them, you feel this great affection for them. You know, you feel like in your soul you can feel that sense of gratitude to them because they fixed your car so many times when
got
you were,
you through some
they
rough
got you,
times.
They really did, and you just feel so good. So I saw him, and my heart swelled because it was so good to see him. So I said, "Hey Frank, what you doing? How you doing?" And he looked at me kind of dejected, and he said, "I'm too busy." And now that would be typical for Frank before he retired, but now he's retired. And it turns out that people who shall remain unnamed are still
beating down his door
and making him fix their cars. And he is too nice of a guy to say no.
I know.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that if you guys are...
Things are going to be way worse for me when I retire, if I retire. I don't think I can ever retire because I don't have one of those things like people who really have normal jobs have.
What is it called? Like a retirement account?
Yeah, or like is it called? It's a number.
401k?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, right. I know.
I don't even know what it is because I can't
we don't
possibly
really know
have
what
one.
It is. That's right.
So I don't know what happens to people like me when we get old. What happens to us?
We die in the pasture.
Okay. So unless I come into a heaping load of money, which is highly unlikely, there will be no retirement.
You pray that you've got some nice kids.
No, my kids aren't going to make any more money than I do. Like nobody can anymore.
Look,
the American dream is dead, Christina.
Yeah, but you can still write. If you can pick up your pen,
not when I'm all like Alzheimer-y and screwy. I'm going to write some really weird.
That might be great. By the time that you're that old, they'll have fixed Alzheimer's. I can guarantee it.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll have figured it out.
But if this is a big if I ever did retire, I think I would be so much even busier than I am now because I am one of those people who can't say no. And if I was retired, people would absolutely prey upon my supposed retirement to ask me to do more stuff.
Yeah,
so
they would. You have to learn to say no.
Well, I'm not worried because I can't retire anyway. What I need to do is learn to say no now because I don't.
Yeah, because look at Frank. Frank can't say no.
I'm exhausted.
You'll be like Frank.
You'll be hours a day.
You'll be fixing cars when you're 70.
I did sleep in today because the dance block, that 5-week-long dance block, ended last night, and I slept in this morning to 7:30. But then I kind of dicked around on my computer for a half an hour in bed. In bed.
Good for you.
Yeah,
I am so impressed by you. You did a really great dance block. I saw those little kids in tutus, and I saw you.
Oh, that's not the dance block. That's my regular dance classes. This was on top. This was different.
Okay, but it was
Kids
all
in tutus
great.
are still going.
All of that was great. Like, let's lump it all in together and just say, you are great what you do for humanity on a daily basis.
Concert was several of my very best dancers could not come. And it's tricky when if you're a kid and you can't come to a concert, it's already kind of tricky for the people who are arranging the concert. But then with the dance block, you've got a partner that you're performing with as well.
Yeah.
And so not only are you letting down, your class or whatever, you're also leaving another person unable to perform.
Right.
So there was a lot of drama involving partnering.
God, I'm sorry.
When kids couldn't come.
Yeah.
And at the last minute, a near disaster. I was really anxious last night because this whole 5-week thing the culmination was this performance last night. And at the last minute, I had my computer was dying, and it is almost dead right now. It does this to me now and then, but the screen will just go blank and shut off randomly.
Ooh, that's
all
scary.
the time, all the time. And it was doing it over and over again during practice, but whatever, it was practice. So what I did is I took my music and I put it on a zip drive, and I was going to plug that in to a different, like a school computer, and use it off of that because mine was unusable. And at the last minute, I had a zip drive in my pocket with music, and I also had a family whose portrait I had just taken, and I was going to give them their pictures after school the other day. So they were on identical zip drives, except one was a different color.
I can feel
And I
this.
handed the family the music, and they went away, and I was left with their portraits.
No.
And then it was almost time for the concert, and I was
No.
panicking because
No.
everything was on
no.
this zip drive. And I was able to get a hold of this family, and they came before the concert, and we switched zip drives back around. But I was losing my mind. And poor John, I was screaming at John because he was coming home from a filming session, and we were supposed to be down to the school at a certain time. And John's late. John's just late. He's late to everything. He's always late, and I know that about him.
Yeah.
But usually, if it's something that's like detrimental to my mind, he is on time for that. Like he knows, and he was. I mean, squeaked in with like a second to spare, but of course I had been panicking and pacing and freaking out.
It's sort of like when you show up here like 3 minutes before we go on the air.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's usually because I'm trying to deal with something that he has made me late for back at the house because I am a chronic early person. Like I like to be early, and I'm slowly trying to adapt to living a life with someone who does not care ever if he's on time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
He's totally relaxed about that, and he lives a very zen, happy life that way, but I cannot. Like, I have to be early or I lose it. And I'm forced to not be early now.
You can be early coming here if you want.
Sometimes I can, unless something bizarre is going on.
The only problem is that if you get here early, then we want to talk, but we sort of try to save what we talk about, because sometimes you tell me all this really good stuff, and I say, oh gosh, you should talk about it on the show. So, like,
and then we don't like to repeat ourselves. It's hard to. I feel fake if I tell you something twice.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it works if I stop you soon enough and I say, okay, hold that. Don't say it now. Don't complete that sentence. Just save it up. And that works, yeah. Yeah, so as to counterbalance the kinds of things we were talking about the things on Facebook that we don't particularly enjoy.
Oh, you didn't finish your list of pictures.
No, I didn't, but I kind of want to jump ahead because we have a limited
That's
amount of
fine.
time. I wanted to say some of my favorite things.
Okay.
Okay, because I made a little list of the things that I like to look at. So the first one is occupational photos, like what people are doing at work. Whether they're repairing a guitar or they're hugging a disabled child or they're switching to some new job or whatever. I like those, right?
I can't picture them really.
Maybe you don't have people who post their job photos.
I must.
I mean, I do mine all the time.
I have literally not really looked at Facebook in over a month because there hasn't been internet at school and I haven't had time during the day at all. And then at night, I usually go right to another job. I just have not been online.
Freaking slacker.
It's really weird. I feel bad because
I feel lonely when
I feel lonely. I feel like I've missed out on what everyone's done all month.
Yeah, you're like posting and I'm liking all your stuff and like you're never liking my stuff.
I'm not there. I quickly upload things because I just feel like if I don't retain some presence there, it just will disappear.
It's just, it wouldn't bother me if I had some friends. No, let me move on to the next thing that I like. I like nature photos when the person was actually there.
As opposed to, how do they get a nature photo if they weren't there?
Well, because you can post nature photos that are just nice nature photos, but if you were actually there and you were hiking up a trail or something, that's cool. I like to see that.
Yeah,
or you were in the woods and you saw a salamander, I think it's cool.
I love salamanders.
Yeah, they're great. I also like original rants that actually have some emotion in them. Like you do that sometimes. You go on a rant.
I try not to use the word rant, though, when I do it.
Right. What
Tons
would
of
you
people
call it?
say, like, okay, here's a rant. And then at the end, they say rant over that. I know this isn't a picture, so it's
minimizes
off.
it.
It's off of your topic a little bit. I don't like that. You don't say
When
it's a
you
rant.
call
It's
it a
very
rant.
clear that it's a rant, people.
Well,
we already know.
The reason I don't like the word rant is that it's somehow making it
like it's an angry, unthought out, like spewing.
Yeah, which invalidates it on some level, and we shouldn't be
I
invalidating because there's a lot of...
This is something that you feel. Say it as a thing that you feel.
Yeah, and there's often good information in a rant. I find, and it's also nice when people are honest, because sometimes a rant is actually very honest, and that's refreshing on Facebook, frankly.
People never rant in the opposite direction. Like, why don't people ever rant nicely?
They do, sometimes. Well, okay, here's an example of a combination of a beach photo and a positive rant, which sort of rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay,
it's this guy who this morning he posted for about 5 sentences how great he could not believe how great his life was. I mean, he just couldn't even believe it. And he had a video of he lives on an island in Maine, and he had this beautiful video of the nighttime ocean. And it was a rocky ocean. Granted, he wasn't lying on the beach, but it was a beautiful beach, and he was so happy.
What is
wrong with this picture?
I feel like people sometimes are trying to justify their lives that way.
Well, I
feel really, really happy sometimes, and sometimes I do say it on Facebook. But
should you say it on Facebook? If you can say it in a way that will make other people happy, fine, go for it.
If you can bring people along with you in your happiness, as you're saying that's fine.
That's tricky.
Saying it in a braggy sort of way, or not a braggy way, but as a way to incite envy, I feel is different.
Yeah, I wouldn't have accused him of inciting envy. I think he was trying to be just sort of genuinely humble about it.
If you feel really happy and you want others to feel happy too, that's different between wanting others to envy you. I don't want to be envied. If I find something that makes me feel really happy and I think to myself, wow, this is a recipe for happiness, I want to tell people and they can join this, but I don't want people to be like, her life is better than my life. I don't want that.
That's a kind of an art form to be able to pull that off on social media, but I think it's something we can all aspire to. And we have to go soon. We have about 45 seconds.
Oh my God, you better play some music.
Yeah, we do. And please go look for our podcast on iTunes or wherever, Stitcher, you can find our podcast.
Yeah, or go to our website, 11thhourradio.com. I think there's links to everything there.
Yeah, and then you're going to hear these songs in their entirety, including this last song called Shifting Sands. I don't even know who it's by because this is an old playlist, but I'm going to get it going. But thanks for listening to 11th Hour Radio. We had a great time.
Back next Friday, and hopefully you will too.
Yeah, see you next week.